All right, y'all, welcome back. It's Mr. Silber here with your fourth installment in our lecture series for music tech. Maybe it'll be a different number if I add more in, but the bottom line is this is going to be our first video for how to do rhythms specifically in LMMS. Now, in the spell book, if you recall, we have this chapter 2 section, and I went over down beats, up beats, beats 1, 2, 3, 4. We went over backbeat, where the snare is on the beginning of beat 2 and the beginning of beat 4. The halftime, where the snare is on 3, 4 to the floor, we have kicks on the first 4 beats. For the purpose of this, let's take funk disco. It's a really simple pattern of kicks on 1 and 3 and snares on 2 and 4, and we're going to show you how to do that in LMMS. So first things first, I got to open up LMMS. Now, while it's loading, let's recall that these images are from FL Studio. So you can see in different ones we have different instruments loaded in here, right? Here we have a kick, snare, ride. It says hit hat, but I think that's supposed to be a hi hat. Kick, snare, 808, CH, it's closed hi hat, 808, open hi hat. This is just a kick, snare. So that's going to be an important thing to approach as we look in LMMS. All right, so here's LMMS. Now, from the very beginning, when you open a project, you're going to see this beat baseline thing. I'm going to see, am I able to get my example easily? Yeah, I am. Okay. Let me grab my chord, my arpeggio example. So if you recall, this is where I have my regular chords, my inverted chords, and my arpeggios here. You can see this beat and baseline section is already here. Now, much like with any of these instruments, if I click here and then double click that, it's going to open up this window. Now that looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? So see, there's 16 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So those are all 16 steps in the measure. And sure enough, notice that this is taking up that whole first measure there, so 1 to 2. So for this, I want to put a kick on 1 and 3. And as it stands, kicker is what it auto opens up with default. So I'm going to put a kick on 1 and a kick on 3. Now, but I have no snare. So what am I going to do about that? If I click on my samples, same way we got our piano earlier, and go to drums, there's a whole bunch of options here. Now again, in a later video, I'm going to show you how you can add more instruments in, because chances are you may not like some of the stock instruments. So I'm going to drag this snare in. Now, frankly, I can listen to different snares and see which one I like. I think I like this one. All right, so I'm going to put on, based on this, on beats 2 and 4, I want to have a snare. So that's my backbeat. All right. Similarly, if I play in here now, I think that organ might have been a bit loud, but you could hear the drum in there. Now, if I want to add more than just 16 steps, I can click this plus sign, and if I want to get rid of some, I click the minus sign again. This copy feature will duplicate it, so it just continues on. So again, I can get rid of that. And let's say I want to have a totally different pattern. Like I don't want to just have this one the whole time. If I click this button, this will add a new beat baseline pattern. So I click there, and sure enough, we now have a new one down here. So I'll put this over here. And for this one, I'll just do 4 to the floor so we can see it. And then if I want to come back up here, turn these down a bit. Those are like really loud. Cool. So that's how you add in patterns in the step sequencer. As you've seen with rhythm sense, it's a pretty common thing is to have closed hats are really commonly used. Depending on the genre, you might also use other things, rims, open hats. Frankly, like specifically what the sound sounds like in terms of the kick and snare also might vary by genre. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we look at being able to download sound packs and instruments for stuff. So that's the end of this video on setting up your step sequencer in LMMS. Have a nice one.